Hey friends, welcome to your reading. Today's reading is all about the topic, it's time to change everything, what life is calling you into. So if you have been feeling like it's been time to break free from the life that you were told to want, because deep down you know that you weren't made for fitting in, you were made for co-creating magic. This is your invitation to start over, not from scratch, but from wisdom. Let's see what life is calling you to create next. Now, if you are new to pick a card readings, here's how it works. The first thing that you're going to do here is you are going to pick the pile or the crystal that you are the most intuitively drawn to. So we have pile 1 here with the raw rose quartz chunk. We have pile 2 here with the carnelian flower agate crystal. We have pile 3 here with the rose quartz point. And then we have pile 4 here with the Mangano calcite heart. You can choose one pile, you can choose more than one pile, or you can choose all of them. It is totally up to you. But when you're ready, go to the description of this video, find the timestamp that is linked to your pile, and then you can skip ahead to your reading. Thank you so much for letting me read for you, and I will see you on the inside. Hi pile 1, hey friends, welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the calling. Let's talk about your soul's next chapter. We'll talk about what life is asking you to step into and what major identity or energetic shift is unfolding for you. So we have the Muse of Voices here. This is the King of Swords. So with this card, it calls you to embody clarity and authority and truth. Pile 1, you are being asked to step into a role where your mind is your greatest asset. Right? So like strategy, communication, leadership is being brought up here. So pile 1, life is asking you to become a thought leader, an advisor, maybe a strategist of some kind. You are being asked to speak your truth with conviction, right? With being direct. And this is also a call for you to cut away any sort of emotional noise or distractions so that you can focus on your long-term impact. So for example, maybe some of you here feel a strong urge to become a coach or a therapist or a consultant, right? Maybe you're somebody who gives advice or who knows how to hold space and really speaks truth to power. Maybe some of you here are ready to start your YouTube channel or your podcast where you start to share your wisdom. I'm hearing like topics like psychology or law or social justice or life strategy, whatever it is that you want to speak about. You're being called to speak and speak your truth. I feel like with this, you could shift from like emotional decision making to really operating your business or your job role from logic and efficiency and ethics and really setting clear boundaries and leading with integrity. So this is so powerful. You are meant to be a leader, pile 1. We also have trine sextile. This one says symbiosis. So this card speaks to things like ease, things like harmony, right? Having this natural alignment. Life is calling you into flow where your gifts are naturally supported by others and the environment around you. So pile 1, I feel like you're stepping into a chapter where collaborations just click. Maybe you're going to use your gifts in a space that feel easy, even fun, right? No more forcing it is what I'm hearing. This is going to be a life that supports your truth and encourages you to shine without resistance. Maybe some of you here have been guided toward a creative or a business partner who balances your skill set perfectly. Maybe your current job or project starts to feel a bit off, and then you find yourself drawn to opportunities that just feel right without struggle. Maybe you finally feel seen and valued for who you truly are. Your voice, your vision, and your leadership style is welcomed and respected here, pile 1. So let's talk about the leap, right? Let's talk about the life change that you are being guided toward. What sort of change are you being nudged to take or make? And what external signs or internal clues are supporting this? So we have the Page of Emotions here. This is the Page of Cups. So this is creative curiosity. It could talk about inner child healing, emotional new beginnings. So you are being nudged to leap into something that lights you up, pile 1, even if it feels dreamy or soft or uncertain. The leap is to say yes to a heart-led path, even if it doesn't make logical sense yet, which is very interesting, right? Because we have that balance between like being a little bit more logical and strategic in your business, but still allowing like the content or the topic to be something that lights you up, if you know what I mean, right? It's having this beautiful balance between the two. I feel like this is a call for you to like start the passion project, right? Open your heart to new emotional experiences or express your creativity. This is your call to let vulnerability lead, right? Being seen, being heard, or being emotionally exposed could be key to your career transition, right? So maybe you've always loved art or writing or content creation, but you never took it seriously. And suddenly you feel brave enough to just try. Maybe some of you here are feeling guided to share your personal healing journey, whether this is mental health or spirituality or motherhood, and it leads to opportunities. Maybe you start taking intuitive action, right? Pitching an idea or applying for a role or creating something that feels too small, right? But then it has huge ripple effects. We also have the red rose. This one says overcoming obstacles, finding joy, carefree. So this card is all about reclaiming joy and lightness after a long period of hardship, pile one. So you are being led toward a chapter of pleasure, color, and more playfulness. So I feel like the leap is also about choosing, again, what brings you joy, not just stability. It's about letting go of struggle stories, right? Life doesn't always have to be hard to be meaningful. I just think that this is about allowing beauty and softness into your everyday work and your lifestyle. So for example, maybe some of you here leave a toxic workplace for a slower, more creative lifestyle, even if it pays less at first. Or maybe some of you here let yourself take a break or travel or rest, and then the ideas start to flow again. Maybe some of you here decorate your workspace or make your own schedule or start something new that finally feels fun again. So let's talk about the reward, right? Let's talk about how this change will affect your money and purpose. Let's talk about any sort of financial upgrades here, aligned opportunities, and any sort of emotional or spiritual fulfillment from this new direction. So we have the Seven of Emotions in reverse here. This is the Seven of Cups in reverse. So I like when the Seven of Cups is in reverse because it brings us clarity. It brings focus after a time of feeling confused or overthinking. This is you narrowing down your options and really committing to a clear, aligned path. So the reward here, pile one, is that you stop chasing everything and you start choosing one thing that truly excites you, right? And this is not about like putting you in a box, right? But this is really about honing in and really like dedicating yourself and finishing and closing out one loop before hopping on to the next thing, right? Because it's okay to be multifaceted. It's okay to be multi-passionate, but it's also okay to finish one project at a time, right? So this is you finding your zone of genius. This is you understanding where your gifts and your purpose click, right? Because better decisions equals better money for you. So maybe some of you here stop dabbling in multiple side hustles and you finally commit to one business idea, and then it starts to grow. Or maybe some of you here stop consuming everyone else's advice and you trust your inner voice, which leads you to greater creative and financial flow. Maybe you realize what truly matters and what doesn't, right? And you align your money goals with purpose and not just like egoic based desires, right? Which we all have, we're humans. We also have Moonstone, slow it down. Oh my gosh, if I had a penny for every time I heard someone say use Moonstone, like use the crystal Moonstone when you're going through a life change or when you want like a new beginning, Moonstone. So this, I feel like it's no mistake that this card is showing up here. This stone teaches us to honor divine timing, to trust our intuition, and to allow the magic to unfold without rushing anything. So I feel like this path is going to teach you to trust the process, practice patience as your purpose and your money align. It's also a call to like maybe make sustainable decisions, not impulsive ones. So for example, like say you are creating a tarot pick a card channel here on YouTube and you're like, I'm going to post every single day, 3 times a day. Because you're feeling that fire, feeling that motivation, and you go, and then you burn out and you're like, that upload schedule wasn't sustainable, right? Maybe that sweet spot was 3 times a week, or maybe that sweet spot was once a week or once a month, whatever it is. It's time to like honor your nervous system and honor your own intuitive flow is like what I'm feeling too. So maybe some of you here launch a product or a service slowly and intentionally and with heart while you build long-term clients instead of fast cash. Or maybe you finally stop rushing to monetize everything and you just start creating from a place of alignment, right? Maybe you pause before saying yes to the next thing, and then you create space for a better offer to show up. There's just so many different possibilities here, Pile 1. Let's also talk about the support that you have, right? So what is helping you move forward? Are there any sort of spirit guides or ancestors or skills or mindset shifts that you already have that you could be using? And what sort of tools or resources do you already have, right? So we have the Ace of Materials here. This is the Ace of Pentacles. So the universe is handing you a seed, Pile 1. This is a solid opportunity to grow your wealth or physical security in some way. So I feel like the support that you have with this card is either like a financial or a tangible opportunity is coming, or it's already here. I also feel like this is a mindset of long-term wealth, you know, something that's developing within you. This is you reminding yourself that your skills are enough, and this is your permission slip to start, although you didn't even need a permission slip, right? So maybe somebody offers you a paid opportunity to share your gifts, right? Like a new client or a brand deal or a grant, right? Maybe you have a tarot channel. It's a lot of like, of course it's reading the cards and whatever, maybe you see hands, but it's a lot of like voiceover work, not voiceover, but like, right, you're using your voice a lot. And maybe like somebody who works in advertising comes across your video, they're not even in your niche or in your field, and they're like, oh my God, this person is really well spoken, or they're very intelligent, or they present ideas well, they're a great storyteller. I would love to have them like record, like do voiceover work for a course that we're going to do for our students. Here's 10 grand. Let's get this project done. Like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe some of you here are going to be offered a physical resource, right? Like a free workspace or an investment or a tool that helps you scale your dream. Like I'm seeing for some of you, like I don't know if you have a partner that would like build you a barn outside, or like build you a shed, like a she shed, or like some place to create, or you know what I mean? It's something like that. But yeah, maybe with this, like you realize that your audience or your resume or your portfolio is strong enough and you're ready to begin building something new. We also have full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. So with this one, Aries brings bold action, right? It brings independence. It brings this forward motion. So you are supported by your own inner fire, Pile 1, especially where you've recently hit an emotional or an energetic climax. So I feel like this support is going to show up as an emotional breaking point, right? That either like finally pushes you to act or pushes you to do something. This also could be like fierce courage from within, right? That moment that you just feel done, like done playing small. Maybe this is you releasing what no longer aligns with this fierce new direction that you want to take. Maybe some of you here are gonna have a moment of like deep clarity, like I can't do this job anymore, right? And then you take action on a new plan. Maybe this is you stopping like the whole apologizing for wanting more and going after the big goals that you've held back on, right? Maybe you work in the family business, you work in the family accounting business, and or, you know, maybe you work in the family business and you've always wanted to be a content creator, and although you feel like you're in a safe, secure job, you leave that and take that leap to go ahead and follow your dreams, right? Maybe you break through fear and launch your business, or make a bold ask, or take the first leap. So let's roll some astro dice. Let's get some more information on what else Pile 1 needs to know. Okay, so we have Mercury in the 4th house. I am not surprised with the Mercury energy here. With Mercury in the 4th house here, Pile 1, I feel like you're being called to, again, use your voice to heal, to document, to explore your roots, right? Whether this is family stories or emotional truths or ancestral knowledge. I think that this is your call to communicate from a deeply personal place, whether this is writing or speaking or creating from home or about the home, right? This is you creating emotional safety through words, whether this is counseling or storytelling or teaching or journaling. Maybe this is you writing a memoir or a blog or a podcast about your upbringing or your inner world. Maybe this is you working from home as a coach or an intuitive or an educator, right? Maybe this is you turning your home into a hub for learning or communication or healing. This is just really about turning your inner world into your message, Pile 1. Sorry for all the clicking noises in the background. That's my dog. My dog's always with us in here, so. But yes, thank you so much, friends. Remember that your energy is way too rare to be wasted on the wrong path, right? And there's no wrong path. I think they're just, sometimes we take divine detours to get to where we're ultimately headed, right? We're always right on time. We're always on the right track. Sometimes we get a little bit off track. And so these readings are designed to help you get realigned, get refocused, and get back like on the horse, the proverbial horse. So yes, if this reading unlocked something in you or spoke to you, please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us here every week at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick a card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream home, your dream career, money breakthroughs, and your next level self. So thank you so much for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you, friends, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal Tribe. Love y'all. Hey, Pile 2. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the calling. Let's talk about your soul's next chapter. What is life asking you to step into right now? And what major identity or energetic shift is unfolding for you? So we have the Four of Emotions here. This is the Four of Cups. So this talks about emotional discontentment, right? This talks about disconnection or boredom with your current life or career. So life is asking you to wake up to what you've been ignoring, right? To feel again, to dream again, to be able to say yes to something new, even if it feels risky. So with the Four of Emotions here, with the Four of Cups, you are being called to stop settling and to start choosing with intention. This is your chance to open your heart to new creative or emotional opportunities. Maybe this is you realizing that this meh feeling is your soul crying for change, right? Like if you've been feeling blah or drab or about things, that's your soul reaching out to you and asking for you to make a change. So maybe some of you here are feeling numb in your current job or your current role, right? Maybe you scroll through job postings or you dream of quitting, but you haven't quite taken action yet, right? And maybe life is nudging you to take that discontent that you're feeling seriously, right? Maybe you've been turning down offers or ideas that seem unfamiliar. And then this card comes up to remind you to look again. Maybe the opportunity that you're meant may not look how you expected. Maybe some of you here are realizing that you've been checked out or you've been going through the motions, but it's time to re-engage with life on purpose, right? We also have fifth house passion here. So the fifth house rules things like creativity, like self-expression, things like play, romance, things like joy. So life is calling you into a chapter that lights up your inner child and lets your true passions take the lead. By the way, for those of you who are interested in learning more about the fifth house, I have a podcast episode that I recorded on this. The easy way to understand the fifth house, as well as your astrology and so much more. If you're interested, if you feel called to check my podcast out, the That's Deep podcast, I have it linked for you in the description of this video. But with this, I feel like you're stepping into creating from joy, right? Not just productivity. I feel like you're putting your personality into your work here, Pile 2. This is you saying yes to fun, things like art, things like romance, right? Maybe even personal brands. So for example, maybe some of you here were meant to start a side project, a podcast, right? Content creation, a fashion line, a creative business that really does express the real you, even if it feels indulgent or unrealistic, right? So maybe some of you here have outgrown your role as someone who just checks boxes and you crave meaning and excitement and artistry in your work. Maybe some of you here have been called to teach or perform or to write or to design, or otherwise entertain or engage the world with your talents. So now I want to talk about the leap, right? Let's talk about the life change that you are being guided toward and what sort of change are you being nudged to make. Let's get any sort of external signs or internal cues that are supporting this. So we have the Hermit in reverse here. And with this, whenever I see this card in reverse, it always reminds us to come out of hiding, right? So maybe you've learned enough from being alone and now it's time to rejoin the world in some way, right? To share your wisdom, to be seen. So the leap here is for you to stop isolating and to start creating community, right? Come out of the internal reflection and move into aligned outward action. It's time to stop second guessing yourself, right? It's time for you to start showing up. If you've been behind the scenes for a while, right, like researching or healing or preparing, now you're being pushed to launch, to show up and to post online or to express yourself outwardly in some way. Maybe some of you here have been hermiting due to fear or burnout, but life is saying, like, enough, you are ready now, right? There are people waiting for your message or your art or your gift or your skills. Maybe some of you here keep getting invitations or messages or signs that are pointing you toward collaboration or mentorship or leadership roles, and you're being asked to say yes here. We also have yin and yang. This one is unity, balanced energy, and manifestation. I am in divine flow and move in alignment. So yes, you are being nudged toward energetic harmony, pile 2. I think that balancing the inner and outer is going to be really important here, right? Like the being and the doing, the masculine and the feminine, right? So this leap is all about you manifesting from a balanced, grounded place. This is you leading with both intuition and action, right? This is letting yourself be supported. You definitely don't have to do it all alone here, pile 2. I feel like some of you here are going to balance your need for rest and self-care with bold steps forward, right? Maybe you're going to finally create a workflow that doesn't burn you out. Maybe some of you here are going to be attracting a business or a creative partner whose strengths complement yours. Maybe some of you here are going to be integrating your spiritual practices with your career goals, and you're going to be creating structure for your flow. So let's talk about the reward. Let's talk about how this change will affect your money and purpose. Let's talk about the financial upgrade here, any sort of aligned opportunities, and the emotional or spiritual fulfillment that'll come from you taking this new direction. So we have the Emperor here. This is major level up energy, pile 2. This is all about leadership, structure, power, and really owning your seat at the table. You're being rewarded with real world influence, things like control, security, but you must claim it. So the reward here is like authority in either your field or your niche, maybe even like sustainable wealth building and systems that really do support you. I feel like this is you feeling grounded and really in charge of your life and your money. So maybe some of you here like launch a business or a brand or a service that really puts you in the driver's seat and creates this long-term income for you. This is you being like promoted or chosen or recognized for your leadership and your ability to create structure and stability. Pile 2, I feel like you no longer just hope that money works out. You're going to actively plan and invest and lead your financial life like a boss. We also have moon cycles. This one says patience. So your rewards, I feel like they're going to unfold over time, pile 2, like in stages is what I'm hearing, right? Very much like the moon. This is your reminder that success isn't always instant, but it's inevitable when you're aligned, right? So I feel like this path is going to teach you to honor divine timing, right? Trust the invisible growth that's happening behind the scenes. Stay consistent through the ups and the downs, right? Like maybe some of you here have a creative business that doesn't blow up overnight, but within a few moon cycles, right? Within a few months, you see a real transformation. Maybe some of you here commit to a long-term vision even when results are slow and it pays off. Maybe some of you here are going to be building a rhythm into your life and career that matches your energetic seasons. So let's talk about the support. What's helping you move forward? Are there any sort of spirit guides or ancestors, skills or mindset shifts that would be important to take note of? And what tools or resources do you already have here? We have the Star. So pile 2, you are so divinely guided and deeply supported. Like I'm hearing more than you even realize. And this is one of the most hopeful cards in the tarot. It confirms that your healing, your vision, and your authenticity are really important tools for you moving forward. So the support that you have here is this unique light about you, right? This voice, right? Or story that really does inspire other people. There's this hope, there's this healing energy that really helps you dream again with this card. It can also come as like this cosmic reminder that, yes, you are on the right path, even when it's not clear yet. So maybe some of you here start sharing your story or your journey online, and it really draws people in who are inspired by your vulnerability and your truth. Maybe some of you have your sense of purpose and hope that keeps you going, even when you're tired or feeling unsure. I just feel like some of you here are already feeling your spirit team or your ancestors reminding you that you are the dream and that your dreams are real. It's time for you to go for it full force. Whatever has been lighting your heart up, it's time to follow that. Follow that feeling is what I keep hearing. Now, we also have the full moon in Scorpio. This one says breathe through the tension. Scorpio full moons bring emotional intensity. It can bring purging, right? A lot of transformation. So this reminds you that even in periods that feel chaotic or not comfortable, this is where the breakthrough is happening, right? So like maybe the support looks like this emotional release that really clears the way for new power, right? Like you quit that really shitty job, or you quit that really like horrible relationship that hasn't been valuing you, right? Maybe you stop like over drinking every single day and you start honoring your body and you start treating it like a temple, right? Maybe there's this like breakthrough moment after facing a wound or like a fear or a habit or something, right? This is like deep resilience built through shadow work and personal alchemy. Maybe some of you here have tough conversations or emotional releases that set you free and let you move forward finally. Maybe some of you here are going to confront a fear around being seen or failing or outgrowing others, and you survive it stronger. Maybe some of you here have been through some heavy stuff, and now you're coming out more clear, more strong, and more magnetic than ever. Let's get some more information from our astro dice. What else for pile 2? Okay, so we have Saturn in the 10th house. So with Saturn in the 10th house here, pile 2, I feel like you're being called to, again, master your career and your legacy through things like discipline, things like patience, things like structure, things like integrity, right? It's all about what we were speaking about with the Emperor here. This is about you building something that's lasting. Pile 2, you are here for long-term success, not overnight fame, right? Like, I'm not saying that you can't reach that overnight celebrity status, but you're not going to be like a quick burnout, right? Like you're creating something that's going to last the test of time. So I also feel like you're going to earn respect by becoming the authority in your field through hard work, through responsibility, and through resilience, and through showing up, right? So I feel like some of you here maybe started from the bottom and now you're rising into leadership roles over time. Maybe some of you here are building a business or a brand or a public presence that's very structured and ethical and influential. Maybe this is you facing career setbacks early in life so that this pushes you to grow stronger and wiser and more strategic. I'm hearing like youngest people on Forbes, youngest millionaire, youngest billionaires, like tycoons in the industry. You know what I mean? So I feel like this is a placement of like slow, steady power, and you are meant to be known for what you build and embody, pile 2. So thank you so much, friends. I want to remind you that your energy is too rare to be wasted or spent. And I don't want to say like wasted, because our time is never wasted, but I just want you to know that your energy is rare. You don't have to keep it in places that don't honor your worth. If this reading spoke to you, if this reading unlocked something in you, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us each week here at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick a card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream career, your home, your money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you all. I'll see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal fam. Lots of love. Hey, pile 3. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the calling. Let's talk about your soul's next chapter. Let's talk about what life is asking you to step into. What sort of major identity or energetic shift is unfolding for you? We have the 9 of Materials in reverse here. So this is the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. So with this one, you're being asked to reclaim your independence, not just financially, but emotionally and energetically. Pile 3, this is a shift away from relying on external validation or unhealthy comforts or like quiet luxury in name only, and into true self-wealth and sustainability, right? So life is asking you to examine what you're clinging to for false security. It's also asking you to like stop undercharging or like overgiving or hiding your worth. This is you stepping into empowered wealth, not wealth that traps or depletes you, right? So maybe some of you here have been underpaid or reliant on a partner or a family member or a job that gives you just enough to survive, but not enough to thrive. And I'm really feeling like a lot of you are feeling frustrated with that kind of stuff. Maybe some of you here feel like you've outgrown your current brand or your identity or your pricing, but you're afraid to step into full visibility and charge what you're worth. Maybe some of you here keep repeating cycles of earning and burning money because your core value system needs realignment. We also have Mars. This one says motion. So this is all about taking this bold, courageous, possibly even messy action. So I feel like your next chapter is defined by movement, by assertion, and by this fire of initiation. So Pile 3, you are being called to stop waiting and to start doing, even if it's imperfect. This is you using your anger, your frustration, or that restlessness as fuel. This is you really claiming your goals with passion and with drive. So for example, maybe some of you here take messy, unpolished action, like pitching yourself or launching something quickly or quitting a draining job. Maybe some of you here confront a situation where you've been passive or dependent and you step into direct leadership of your life. Maybe some of you here, you work with your physical energy, maybe through fitness or sensuality or body-centered practices to shift your relationship with power and productivity. So let's talk about the leap. Let's talk about the life change that you are being guided toward. Let's talk about what change you are being nudged to make and any sort of external signs or internal cues that are supporting this. So we have the world cosmos in reverse here. This is the world in reverse. So Pile 3, you are being nudged to close an unfinished cycle, right? Something is lingering, like a project or a job or a relationship or an old identity, and it's keeping you from moving into the new. So this is a reminder for you to complete some sort of lesson and to step into integration. So the leap here is for you to end what you've outgrown with intention, right? Tie up loose ends, whether this is spiritual or emotional or contractual. This is you like ending that cycle of circling and really start closing the loop here. So maybe some of you here have been like almost done with a creative project or a course, but fear of success has kept you from finishing, and so it's time to cross the threshold. Maybe some of you here are still energetically connected to an old career or relationship or lifestyle, and this card says to release it fully to claim what's next. Maybe some of you here are feeling stuck because something from the past is incomplete. This is your reminder to close it, right? Even if it means it feels uncomfortable for a quick moment. We also have energy. This one says power, aura, and depletion. Call your energy back to you. So this confirms that the leap here involves you addressing burnout or energetic leaks or maybe even like the misaligned use of your personal power, right? So I feel like you're being guided to like reclaim your energy and your vitality. This is your reminder to stop giving power to people or projects that drain you. This is your reminder to choose things that feel energizing over what feels exhausting, right? So maybe some of you here feel exhausted after working with certain people or on specific tasks. And so it's a sign for you to shift where your energy goes. Maybe this is you realizing that your business or your content is successful, but it's draining, and you're meant to shift your methods or your offerings to ones that nourish you. Maybe some of you here stop pushing through and you start listening to your body's wisdom about what energizes or what depletes you. So let's talk about the reward. Let's talk about how this change will affect your money and your purpose, your financial upgrades here, any sort of aligned opportunities or emotional or spiritual fulfillment from this new direction that you're being called to take. So we have the Knight of Voices in reverse here. This is the Knight of Swords in reverse. So the reward here is freedom from mental chaos and overreaction. You stop rushing, hustling, or fighting battles that aren't yours, Pile 3. This is about you finding your own lane and your own pace. So the reward here is clarity of purpose without burnout. This is discernment about what to say yes to. This is you having sharper thinking and this more efficient progress. Maybe some of you here stop jumping at every opportunity and instead choose only aligned ones. Maybe this is you creating more impact with less stress. Maybe you stop hustling to prove yourself and instead you let your work speak for itself. Maybe you remove yourself from mental overload, right? Social media, overthinking, people pleasing, and your vision becomes razor sharp. We also have Blood Moon. This one says courage. So this is all about having this radical bravery, especially in the face of any sort of change and transformation. So the reward here is not just external success, but it's inner courage that you built by going through this fire. So this path is going to bring strength in your voice, you know, things like strength to your vision and your action. This is you having this emotional bravery that's to be seen, right? Or to pivot or to begin again. This is really that rebirth energy that magnetizes wealth and aligned purpose. So maybe some of you here take a public risk, right? You launch something, or you change direction, or you speak up, and it brings you deep empowerment. Maybe some of you here walk away from safety and you walk into uncertainty and you discover your strength and your leadership in the process. Right? This is you showing up as you are, raw, messy, real, and people are drawn to that authenticity, right? Opening new opportunities for you. Let's talk about the support that you have, right? What's helping you move forward? Let's talk about any sort of spirit guides or ancestors, any sort of skills or mindset shifts to look out for. And we'll talk about what tools or resources that you already have. So we have the High Priestess here. This is your intuition, right? This is your inner wisdom. This is your spiritual gifts. And these are your greatest allies, pile 3. You already know what to do, right? This card is deep validation of your inner knowing. So I feel like the support that you have here, pile 3, it's like psychic or intuitive gifts that maybe you've downplayed or you've ignored. I feel like this is this quiet confidence in your gut, right? This is your compass now. I feel like you also have this ability to tune into divine timing or signs and inner guidance. So I feel like this is my pile that knows when to act and when to wait, right? Pile 3, you have your cycles and your intuition, and they know how to like guide your schedule, right? Like it's not about hustle culture. I feel like you start trusting the nudges and the dreams or the gut feelings, and they lead to aligned moves that logic couldn't explain. Or you realize that you're the seer in your field, right? In your content, in your readings, or in the creative work that really channels this deeper wisdom. We also have last quarter moon in Gemini, clear your mind. So this is the card that supports you by helping you to release this mental chatter, right? This confusion and any sort of need to over-explain or to overthink. So just remember that simplicity is going to equal your power. So maybe the support looks like mental decluttering, right? Less noise, more clarity. Or maybe this means choosing your words and your ideas with more intention. I feel like this is you dropping comparison and perfectionism, or having this split focus, right? So maybe some of you here take a social media break, or you unfollow triggering voices to clear mental space. Maybe some of you here simplify your offers or your brand or your messaging, and things flow with ease. Maybe you stop seeking external advice and you return to your own voice, right? You make clear decisions without second guessing yourself. Let's get more from our astro dice. What else for pile 3? So we have the sun in the 12th house. Yeah, so with the sun in the 12th house here, I feel like you're being called to maybe even like shine from behind the scenes, for those of you who feel called to that kind of energy, right? Because maybe with this like psychic ability, like maybe with your power coming from depth and intuition and healing and spiritual connection, this could be easier to do like behind the veil or like behind the scenes. This could also mean that you're just embodying quiet strength, right? Because you are a natural mystic, a guide, or an artist who thrives in solitude or creativity or in service. It's time for you to like honor that, right? I feel like this is also you transcending the ego, right? So your journey is going to be about aligning with something greater than yourself, right? Like divine purpose or collective healing or the unseen. Maybe some of you here are going to start working in the spiritual or the healing arts, right? Maybe dream work, psychology, film, or retreat style environments. Maybe some of you here are going to be creating art or music or content that channels the invisible and touches people's souls. Maybe this is you needing alone time to recharge and to reconnect with your inner light. Pile 3, you are walking the path of the hidden light bearer. You impact the world in this very powerful, subtle, and often uncredited ways, but that's okay. Your mission is so strong here. You are going to be remembered through lifetimes, through generations, is what I'm hearing. So thank you, friends. Remember, your energy is too rare to be wasted on the wrong path. If this reading spoke to you in some way, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to keep manifesting with us here every week at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick-a-card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream career, your home, your money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you, friends. I will see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal Tribe. Lots of love. Hey, Pile 4. Hey, friends. Welcome to your reading. Let's talk about the calling, what your soul is being asked to step into, and the energetic identity shift that is unfolding for you. So we have the Four of Inspiration in reverse here. This is the Four of Wands in reverse. So this card often talks about instability or disharmony in your personal foundations, right? Things like your home life, support systems, or even that inner sense of safety. So Pile 4, you are being asked to redefine success and celebration on your own terms, rather than chasing what looks good on the outside. I feel like your soul is calling you to break free from traditional paths that don't really feel like home to you, right? So this is your call to find or create your own soul-aligned community, right? And to celebrate small wins and to trust that your version of success is valid, even if it looks different than others. So maybe some of you here are leaving behind the pressure to follow society's timeline, right? Like getting married or staying in a job for security or buying a house. And instead you're building a life that reflects you and your desires. Maybe some of you here feel alienated from your current support system, but it's pushing you to find your true community, right? Or collaborators. I also feel like some of you here are healing disappointment from either like a job or a launch or a relationship that didn't give you the lasting fulfillment that you hoped for, right? So maybe some of you here are learning to rebuild from authenticity. We also have Aquarius. This one says collaborate. So Aquarius really does invite you into the realm of innovation and individuality and collective progress. So you are being called to create with others, Pile 4. Not through conformity, but through shared ideals and visionary thinking. So I feel like you're stepping into maybe like partnerships or group projects that feel aligned with your soul mission. Maybe you're creating something bigger than yourself, right? Like community or movements or tech or art or ideas. Maybe some of you here are authentically showing up as the outsider who makes change possible. Maybe some of you here are joining or creating a community of fellow creatives or visionaries or healers, maybe online or through digital products, right? Maybe some of you here collaborate with someone wildly different from you, right? And it creates something groundbreaking. So maybe you've been the lone wolf, but now you're ready to be part of a collective that aligns with your beliefs and your freedom. So let's talk about the leap. Let's talk about the external shift that you're being nudged to make. Any sort of signs or inner guidance that are pointing to this new direction for you. So we have the Fool in reverse here. So this talks about like a fear of starting or like a fear of failing or clinging to what feels familiar. So maybe you're being nudged to take the leap even if it feels messy or uncertain, right? So maybe the leap here is to let go of hesitation and perfectionism, or to say yes to a new beginning even if it feels scary, and to really trust that you'll figure it out after you start, right? So maybe some of you here have been stalling a big move or a big launch or a big career change out of fear of looking foolish, and life is pushing you to do it anyway. Maybe some of you here keep waiting for the perfect time or more training, but you're actually ready now. Maybe some of you here feel like you're meant to begin something that feels countercultural or idealistic or strange, and that's the whole point of it. Right? We also have magic mushroom, miracles, fairy energy opening up. So I feel like you're being led toward a life that is a lot more magical, a lot more lighthearted. I feel like it's unexpected blessings, blessings that are more unexpected than you could have ever imagined. But I feel like it comes as a reminder that this magic can only unfold once you believe in the possibility of it, right? So you are being nudged to open your mind and your heart to new ways of thinking. You're being asked to trust in the unseen, right? Intuition, synchronicity, spirit. It's your time to embrace enhancement. It's your time to embrace enchantment, right? Creative play, things like spontaneous joy. So maybe you get inspired by a strange dream or a download or a sign, and you start to follow it, right? And that leads you to some sort of surprising opportunity. Maybe some of you here create something whimsical or unexpected, like art or design or fantasy content, and it becomes more successful than your serious work. Maybe some of you here stop micromanaging outcomes and instead you co-create with the universe and miracles begin to unfold. So let's talk about the reward. Let's talk about how this change will affect your money, your career, and your deeper sense of purpose. We have the Three of Materials here. This is the Three of Pentacles. So this card brings collaboration and mastery and building something with others. So I feel like the reward is grounded, right? New contracts, new clients, new creative partnerships that really see your worth and they want to grow with you. So again, the reward here is like recognition for your skills and your ideas, opportunities to be paid or promoted for your contributions, pile 4, right? Maybe being part of some sort of bigger, meaningful vision or legacy. Maybe some of you here land like that gig or that job or that partnership where your talents are finally appreciated and compensated well. Maybe some of you here co-create a project, right? Like a YouTube channel or a video or a product or a space or a course that leads you to long-term income and visibility. Maybe this is you finding a collaborator or a team that truly gets your vision, right? And together you build something beautiful and lasting. We also have moon memories, the past. So I feel like this speaks to ancestral healing, maybe even like emotional echoes from the past, maybe even using the past as wisdom, right? Not baggage. So part of your reward is reclaiming your origin story and really integrating it into your purpose. So this path is going to help you heal generational wounds around work or worth or visibility, pile 4. It's really going to invite you to turn past pain into present wisdom. And it's going to encourage you to return to childhood dreams of long lost passions. So maybe some of you here finally let go of a belief that says people like me can't succeed, right? And you prove it wrong through taking that aligned action. Maybe some of you here have been through a past failure or missed opportunity that now makes sense, right? And you use it to guide others or to fuel your purpose. And remember, there is no failure, it's only feedback, right? Maybe some of you here are revisiting an old skill or an old passion or a dream, and it becomes the foundation of your next career move. So let's talk about the support, right? Let's talk about the resources, the people, and the inner strengths that are guiding you forward here. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. This represents divine timing. It can talk about luck, things like fate, cycles. So pile 4, remember that you're not doing this alone. The universe is shifting in your favor. So you are being supported by unseen momentum and karmic redirection is what I'm feeling. So I feel like doors are about to open, right? Stay open, stay alert. Life is going to be rearranging things to align you with your next purpose. I think that breakthroughs are going to happen suddenly, and what feels stuck now may soon turn for you. So maybe this is you having some sort of chance encounter or message or surprise offer that really does open the next chapter of your career. Maybe you realize that a rejection was redirection and now something better finds you. Maybe you stop forcing and you start flowing, and you allow destiny to co-create with your effort. So we also have the last quarter moon in Aquarius. This one says reflect on your priorities. I love that we have double Aquarius energy here. So Aquarius again here confirms that you are clearing space for future you. You are being supported in letting go of old values, projects, relationships that really don't align with your evolving vision. So maybe this support is going to show up as like having this crystal clarity about what no longer excites or serves you. Maybe this is going to be insight into what truly matters, right? Like impact over appearances. Maybe this is you rewiring your priorities around freedom or creativity and alignment. Maybe this is you cutting back on tasks or clients that don't feel aligned to you, even if they do pay well, right? And this makes room for what does. Maybe this is you updating your goals to match your soul and not your fear. Maybe you realize that success now looks more like flow and impact and joy more than hustle or control. So let's get more from our Astro dice. What else for pile 4? Okay, so we have Neptune. Oh no, we have, is that Neptune? No, that's Pluto. We have Pluto in the 3rd house. So with Pluto in the 3rd house, pile 4, you are being called to transform minds through your voice, through ideas, through storytelling. This is you diving deep into communication, really uncovering truth, exposing shadows, challenging surface level thinking. So use your words as a weapon for change. Your thoughts, your speech, they hold intensity, pile 4. They hold power. They hold the potential to shift paradigms. So things like writing or speaking or teaching on taboo or psychological or transformational topics could be very important here. Maybe even having powerful, sometimes polarizing conversations that stir deep change in others could be something here too. Maybe this is you overcoming early life communication wounds, like feeling unheard or silenced or misunderstood, and rising as a potent messenger. So pile 4, you have the voice of an alchemist. You're not here to make small talk. You're here to shake souls awake, is what I'm hearing. So thank you so much, friends. Remember that your energy is too rare to be wasted on the wrong path. If this reading spoke to you, remember to like, subscribe, and to hit the bell to keep manifesting with us each week here at Tidal Tarot. If you want to go deeper, check out my other readings on my channel page, Tidal Tarot. I have tons of pick a card readings on manifesting your best life, your dream career, your home, your money breakthroughs, and your next level self. Thank you so much for being here. As always, it is such an honor to read for you, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, Tidal fam. Love y'all.